Number 5 ranked Wolverines against the number 11 Red Hawks. I'm here with my broadcast partner today, Kevin Beasley. Kevin, what do you see as the keys to the match tonight?
The keys to the match tonight for the Wolverines are going to be getting started quick with highly ranked wrestlers and ending strong with Drew Mattin getting back in the win column. And for Lehigh, they have some key guys out, avoiding bonus points and getting bonus points with the starters that they do have in.
All right, and we jump to 133 for today, where we've got Brandon Peitzel from Lehigh versus Stefan Micic for University of Michigan Wolverine.
And key to note that Lehigh's returning All-American 133 is out for this duel. This is
kind of disappointing for wrestling fans. We hope to see two-time All-Americans. Micic with the takedown. We're going to have another great match tonight. Kevin, is there ever a point in time where a wrestler comes in against someone highly ranked, tough duty, and says, you know, let's make the best of it, let's keep it to 3 points? Or is the guy always out there saying, you know what, I want to win. I'm going to sell out even if I put myself on my back?
Everyone at the Division I level is very talented. So when you get a chance to wrestle the number 2 ranked guy in the country, you take it as a great opportunity and you try to beat him, of course.
And this would be a fine feather in Peitzel's cap and give Lehigh a great start. Likewise, the bonus points out of this match.
Yes. Stefan Micic went through a stretch last year where he had 17 bonus point wins in a row. So he is a bonus point machine, so it'd be huge if Lehigh could steal a win or keep Stefan from getting bonus points. Beautiful duck under here by Stefan to a high crotch. Great defense by the Lehigh wrestler.
And no points yet.
Forcing a scramble.
Now, Stefan wrestled a little bit overseas this summer and did quite well. What can you tell us about his experience over there?
On the senior level, Stefan took European bronze medal wrestling 57 kilos, which is actually 125 pounds. And he took a bronze medal, losing only to the eventual world champion 6-4, and then won a tournament in Poland, beating the world silver medalist in the semis of that tournament. He had a great international season going that was shortened before the world championships due to a minor injury.
Great accomplishments for him, and of course his accomplishments at the national championships, but it never gets easy, and he still got stalemated on his last shot there, and he's in a tough match so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of great hand fighting and attacks and really good defense on Peitzel's behalf here for us.
So Micic trying to get some hand position in there. Now a shot attack by Lehigh. Nice shot and Wissard to make it through the period.
That's very good defense off of a really slick attack. This is going more of a direction of what the Lehigh wrestler wanted, like you said in the beginning of the match. If he wants to keep Stefan from scoring bonus points or steal this match, that's a great period for him.
Yeah, only 2-1. It's a tight match. Stefan's on bottom. Tight waist by the Lehigh wrestler. Stefan's got that foot. He's trying to possibly come out the back door or switch his hips. He's got a reversal, 2 points.
That was great patience by Micic on the bottom to work his leg out and obtain the reversal.
Now, Peitzel's seen a lot of Big Ten competition. He wrestled at 125 for Rutgers 2 years ago, and they acquired a new 125-pounder, you may have heard, and he transferred to Lehigh, and he been doing well for the Mountain Hawks, 2-1 at the Journeyman Invitational this season.
I got you. Yeah.
So Pagel's been through that Big Ten grind. He's been through that EIWA grind. He's going to be not give up any points tonight. Easy point.
Lots of great attack this period. Not many scores, but there's a lot of good hand fighting and attack coming.
Almost a front head by Meachich.
Oh,
Whizzering hard by Pagel. Meachich trying to come back, but Pagel's got that whizzer real good. 15 seconds left. And he's getting 2.
That was a battle for a takedown with short time left on the clock. That was really important for Meachich to pick up that takedown at the end of the period. So the Lehigh wrestler could not get an escape.
So it looks like we've got Pagel with a wizard, Meachich fighting hard, and he eventually comes through for 2 just before the whistle.
Yeah, it was real good patience by Stevan on the finish in the single leg there. If he hustles or if he tries to force a finish there, I think that wizard gets too tight. But he was very patient and was able to secure the leg in and get the takedown with short time left.
Meachich's on top. He's a good top wrestler and great on his feet. We'll see how long he chooses to ride.
He's about 25 seconds away from riding time. We'll see if he goes after it or tries to pick up some more takedowns. Looked like he's going to ride him.
Very tight on that waist. Pagel's got his head on the mat. Not a real athletic position, but sometimes when a guy is riding you hard, you just do the best you can.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough when they have the good top pressure that Meachich is showing. Nice suck back there, no point.
So Pagel's got his head down, and you know it's not stalling if you can't get up, but he's in for a little bit of tough duty, getting ridden out.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough when you got a wrestler as good as Meachich on top trying to keep you down.
Now he lets him up. My math may not be that great, but I think he needs 2 takedowns if he wants to get a major out of this.
I believe that is correct, Tom.
Don't know if we've got an injury or an equipment issue. Looks like they're just cutting off some tape. I don't think Pagel's hurt. And they're back center. So Russian tie up by Meachich. Pagel posted the head, and these 33-pounders are so quick, it's tough to keep up with them sometimes.
A lot of action going on with these guys, high-paced, lots of attacks, great hand fighting. You're right, it's hard to keep up with everything that they're doing. Great duck under attempt by Meachich there. Nice athleticism to get out of that attack.
Super slick. Pagel is not giving up anything easy, and he's still working for takedowns. He is not just trying to ride out, and he's in. I think, he's in on one of the legs, but he's getting flattened out, and that'll be it.
Runs out of time. That was a great battle by 2 solid wrestlers.
Absolutely. Pagel's got to feel a little bad about losing that, but I think Coach Santoro is thinking, hey, 3 points, that's not bad when you're going against Meachich. Let's get the ball rolling here.
Correct.
And Meachich, another win. A very common sight. We're seeing some action from the earlier match with Stefan Meachich. in a close win over Peto, pulled it out. Whoop. Kanan Storr, the 141-pounder, jumped the gun just a little bit here.
It's always nice to try to get a takedown off the whistle, but he was a little early on the gun there.
Taking on Ryan Pomrinka. He's had a little bit of a rough start to the year. He went 0-3 in the journeyman in their A pool, so wrestling the toughest guys over there. But he's done some good things over the year. 4th year in the program for Lehigh. He's a redshirt junior, and looked like he might get to drive the car this year. He's spent some time in the room, working his way up, and now he's earned the chance to go against the big boys every night.
He'll have a good opportunity to prove himself here tonight against number 19 ranked Kanan Storr. He's a transfer from Iowa State, had a great redshirt year while he was there, and was having a solid redshirt freshman year until he decided that he was going to transfer and didn't finish out his redshirt year.
Yes, he was doing some remarkable things. I noticed he made the finals of Dave Schultz in his redshirt year. Ooh, nice ankle pick, but it's fought off well.
Pomrinka did a good job of staying on his feet there. That was a beautiful leg attack by Storr, and Pomrinka really showed his athleticism.
Absolutely. And a lot of the Michigan faithful here tonight are kind of curious to see how Kanan does. It's his first home meet as a Wolverine.
It's a nice little homecoming for him, being a Michigan high school wrestler and going away to Iowa for 2 years, and now he's back home.
Yes, and familiar with the program. I recall one of his brothers was a Wolverine several years ago.
Correct, yes. Zaylin, his brother, was a Wolverine.
You know, it's so tough in there. These guys, you could say they're feeling each other out, but actually they're really working hard for a hand position. Storr looks like he's trying to get in for Russian. He gets it, but loses it that quick.
Pomrinka looks to be pretty tough in these hand fights. Kanan looks to be struggling to move him around. There's a lot of attacks coming from Storr, but Pomrinka's holding great position and doing a good job in these hand fights, not let Storr gain too much ground.
Yeah, he's got a great stance. He's staying in good athletic position. He hasn't done a lot yet, but he's been able to fight off the attacks by Storr.
Right, and he's doing a good job of going forward and holding position to make sure that the ref can't hit him for stalling as well. I think you have a high attack rate from Storr, but Pomrinka holds very good position, and you're not going to see a stalling call here because of how well he stays in the center.
Absolutely. He hasn't taken a step back. There's a shot. Ooh, got behind just for a second. He's in on the ankle.
Wow, what a flurry to end the period. Couple of attacks from Storr, but really good defense from Pomrinka.
Almost had two twice. So you see a shot by Storr. He's in real good, but he can't quite get the finish. Two, almost twice, but was scoreless at the end of one.
Pomrinka starts on bottom, quickly gets to his feet and gets an escape.
So Pomrinka's up 1-0, and they're locked up again, ear to ear. It exerting a lot of energy.
Storr's been really close on that ankle pick a couple times, but Pomrinka is just, you can see his athleticism. It doesn't affect him too much. He goes into great defense or fights it off.
Briefly in on a half shot there, but Storr easily fought that off. He seems to like to get in that Russian, try to get an ankle pick. You wonder sometimes when you come close, do you keep doing it or do you try something different? We'll see what Storr does.
This is a great hand fight battle. These two are just really battling out. Not a lot of points on the board, but so much good wrestling going on here.
It doesn't always look like much, but that forehead to forehead and ear to ear hand fighting takes a lot out of you. And these guys are really putting out a lot of effort.
Oh, yeah, and the stress levels go up when the matches are close like this, and the hand fight battle is so tough. It makes this match feel like it's almost 8 years long.
Now, Storr was sort of in with the front head there, but Pamrinka, he's just keeping good position.
He hand
not
fights
going to
so
yank
well.
him down.
Right. So stall call to Pamrinka. Like we've been saying,
Oh,
a lot of action there. Good wrestling. Takedown, but immediate escape by Pamrinka. He works hard from the bottom position to end the period. That was a big escape and big takedown there that they had to end the period.
Yeah, strong on bottom. He started on bottom, and you can see that flurry at the end. Storr gets the takedown. Pamrinka right back up on his feet. Started on bottom, got taken down, and there was still only 5 seconds of riding time. Now we'll see what Pamrinka can do on top.
Tough ride here by Pamrinka, making Storr work really hard on bottom as they go out of bounds. Not much turning or anything there, but doing a great job of just keeping Storr on bottom. Storr's doing a great job of keep working to his feet.
Absolutely. You see guys, sometimes they give up a little bit after that first mat return. Sometimes the top man, sometimes the bottom man. But I think these guys are going to keep fighting pretty hard.
Yeah, this is a battle right here. And in college wrestling, you get a point for riding for a minute. Oh,
a nice turn in, escape for Storr. He's up 3-2.
Riding time not really a factor right now. So Pamrinka's going to need a takedown to keep himself in this match.
Absolutely. And although the ref got on him a little bit about stalling, he's really got to move forward now. Being down a point
here.
Storr hasn't been warned yet either, so
he does have one to give.
Yeah, he's got one to give. He's got a little liberty if things get tight in the last few seconds.
Nice high crotch attempt by Pamrinka. Takes his head to the center.
He's got an ankle too. And close. It's a scramble.
Beautiful scramble. Wow, this is some high-level wrestling here.
Storr really did a nice job to get himself in position with a single.
And stalemate with 6 seconds left. Beautiful attack by Pamrinka and great scramble by Storr. We're seeing some high-level wrestling right here.
And Pamrinka shoots off the whistle, but far out, nothing. It's going to be a 3-2 victory for Kanan Storr.
Puts the Wolverines on top 6-0 heading into a pivotal 149-pound match.
The Wolverine fans showing some appreciation for that hard work out there by Kanan Storr. A good crowd. It's great to be at Chrysler Arena. They were... You could see a last-second shot here, but it wasn't enough, and Storr was able to fight off that shot and keep the victory. And now we've got Malik Amin, 149-pounder, going against Jimmy Hoff, a redshirt freshman. He went 1-2 at the Journeyman. Malik, coming off a year where he made a lot of great progress. He established himself in the lineup and made nationals. Looking to try to get on the podium this year at Big Tens and the Nationals.
Amin, one of the funkier wrestlers in the NCAA. He looks quite comfortable even though he's not in the best position sometimes.
Yes. It's almost like He feels a little more comfortable once the others got shot on him. Oh,
Yeah.
we've got a scramble right here. Possible exposure. But no control yet. Potentially dangerous is the call. And they'll start both up. Very interesting scramble, though.
That got real funky there, didn't it?
Yeah, an inch or two the other way. That could have been a fall for Lehigh. Hoffman's definitely not giving too much respect to Amin. He's getting after it. Oh,
Beautiful
and
low single.
Beautiful low single
Quick
and
finish.
finish.
That was a great
by
work by
Amin.
Amin. Leg in, and he's going right to work on top. This is where Malik likes to be. He's super comfortable on top with the leg in, just like his father, Mike Amin, was back in the day.
Yes, Mike Amin, NCAA finalist for the Wolverines. Of course, a lot of Amins have wrestled. His brother Sam was a 150-pounder, started several seasons for the Wolverines and made nationals.
Later tonight, you'll see Malik's brother, Miles Amin, in probably our feature matchup of the night at 174. So a lot of Amin blood running through this Michigan wrestling team.
I'm looking forward to that match. And you wrestled with Jordan Amin here, too, Sam's son.
And Jordan's little brother, Cam, just signed to come to Michigan. The Amins are Michigan wrestling for sure.
They've been keeping...
Nice mat return, but a Granby from Hoffman to get a reversal here.
Beautiful move. Standing Granby, 2-point reversal.
And now we're getting funky again. Amin reaching back, grabbing the leg. He loves putting himself in these different positions. Hoffman not too worried about it, though. Secures a hold on top.
He's keeping a lot of weight on Malik. Trying for the 2-on-1, wasn't able to do that. But keeping solid weight, which is important no matter what type of hold you've got, keeping in good position with weight on your opponent. And he may be able to ride him out, although Malik's up to his feet.
Go to the edge. Ooh, big return on the edge. Amin kind of hit his head as they came down, and he's not getting up. That was pretty bad. He tried to stand in Granby and hit his head pretty hard on the edge of the mat there.
That's a tough one. I hope he's all right. The crowd is very quiet in anticipation. Malik, some of you may recall, suffered what looks like a similar injury in the meet against Arizona State last year.
Same
recovered well,
actually.
but so Malik's working hard for the escape here near the end of the mat, and goes for some kind of roll, puts his head down and lands with quite a tremendous force on his head as they go out of the mat. Been tended to by the Michigan trainers. He is speaking. He did roll over. So we'll see. So Kevin, do you recall the match against last year? I don't against Arizona State last year, or maybe you were warming up. I don't know. Did you see the injury last year? It gives me the chills that it looks like something similar.
Very similar, yeah. We started at 157 last year against Arizona State, so I was on the bench watching 149. And Malik actually was attempting the same role that Hoffman used to reverse him, a standing Granby. And sometimes he doesn't get – this happens sometimes when you just don't complete the roll and your head hits first. Hoffman did a good job of returning Amin as he was attempting the roll, and you happen to hit your head every now and then. Let's try that.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break here while the trainers work with Malik, and we hope he's okay, and we'll see you in a few minutes. An injury default here. Malik Amin wisely is going to take the rest of the night off, and we hope he's okay. A night for Michigan fans in particular. We've seen a lot of injuries for those of you who saw the football game, and we had a lot of worries about Lehigh's travel here through the snow, and we just hope everyone gets through this weekend okay. All the best to Malik. So Malik Amin was trying to get an escape, and unfortunately, as wrestlers sometimes do, when there's a mat return and they don't put their hand down, Malik's going for the roll and comes down with tremendous force on his head, and maybe concussed. I don't want to give a medical diagnosis, but it was quite a severe force.
Anytime there's head injury in a sport like this, you like to see the trainers err on the side of caution, and it's a very long season. November to March is at the long time, and it's safe to err on the side of caution, so I'm sure that the Michigan coaches and trainers took that into consideration when they had Malik injury default out of this match.
Absolutely. And some wrestling fans will be a little disappointed that the match didn't conclude, a little disappointed that we're not seeing 100% first-string guys in the lineup on both sides. But alas, these coaches want to be on the podium in March, and they're going to do whatever they can do to keep their wrestlers healthy and keep their wrestlers safe.
So at 157, we're going to have Michigan's backup 149, Ben Lamontia, bumping up to take on...
It's going to be Kent Lane or Josh Humphreys.
For Lehigh. Ben... Lamontia, typically a 49-pounder, wrestled 157 last week against Central Michigan. He lost a match against a 157-pounder who was coming down from 165, so quite the size difference. We'll see if he can get back on track today up at 157 again.
Yes, he's done his time in the room too. Last year he was able to chip in a little bit for that victory the Wolverines had in Iowa City against the Hawkeyes, but it's a tough room when you've got 157 All-American, 165 All-American, 174 All-American, 184 All-American, 197 my partner here returning All-American, and then Kuhn. There's nowhere to go. So, but it's great to see him in the lineup today, filling in for the two-time Michigan All-American, Alec Pentelio.
Beautiful ankle pick attempt for Lamontia. And Lehigh wrestler goes straight to a shin whizzer, making it difficult for Lamontia to finish this single leg.
So, great balance on one leg, but Lamontia scrambles around for two. Great finish, great patience. So often you see wrestlers with one leg up and they rush into something. Great patience there to inch by inch improve position. Lamontia was in good on the leg. Great defense by the Lehigh wrestler on one leg, but eventually Lamontia improved his position enough to get the two.
The Lehigh wrestler was able to get to his feet there, but they were too close to the edge and go out of bounds. Lamontia putting on a strong ride here.
Yes. Great getting to his feet. That's only half the battle, though. He's up to his feet again, working on hand position. Both wrestlers working very hard for the hand position. Oh, he slips down to an ankle. And that's a stall warning. They're going to want more aggressive riding on top.
Yeah, Lamontia spent a lot of time on his feet there without a return attempt. The Lehigh wrestler was doing a great job of keeping hand control, making it difficult for him to make the return attempt, but you can't stand behind someone that long without returning to the mat. He's got to be careful here. He's doing it again, and he's just going to let him go. He doesn't want to give up another stall call.
And he's got 51 seconds, and he's in on that ankle. Oh, little awkward position by the knee. Good scramble. 2 points.
Great scramble by the Lehigh wrestler to pick up the takedown here off of a solid La Mantilla attack.
And a good solid ride. He's got that ankle. Keeping some weight on La Mantilla.
This is where we could see the weight difference coming in to effect here. With La Mantilla weighing in at 149 and bumping up to 157, we could see a little bit of an advantage for the Lehigh wrestler.
And La Mantilla having his head put on the mat.
That was a solid end of the period to ride out for Lehigh over La Mantilla. He'll have choice and deferred choice to La Mantilla, and he chooses down.
And he's going to be down again. This can be very fatiguing for him if he doesn't get up and get out of there.
Quick escape for La Mantilla to start the second period, and then an attack right away on a single leg to finish for a takedown. That was a quick start to the second period. Puts La Mantilla up 5-3 as we go out of bounds.
Great on his feet, and Kent Lane, maybe using that extra strength and weight to get up to his feet. Kevin, what do you see on this ankle pick here?
Oh, it was a quick leg attack right off of an escape, which makes it harder for the top wrestler to be ready. He attacked right off of his escape. Quick finish, which was very, very nice.
And a semi-intentional release there by La Mantilla. It's 5-4 now. Riding time's not an issue at this point in time. And Kent Lane's in there battling hard, too, against a kid who's really slick on his feet.
Lots of great attacks from La Mantilla. Lane keeps forward pressure going into him. I don't know if he's taking a step backwards yet. But La Mantilla's that offense is very high-paced.
Very patient on his first takedown, but after that, super quick ankle pick. Lane tried the shot, a little half-hearted. He's going to have to really go for it if he wants to get a takedown here with 45 seconds left. La Mantilla does have the warning for stalling, so he's got to keep that movement or keep moving ahead. Nice underhook.
30 seconds remaining in the period.
Dropped down for a shot, thought better of it.
So this is a point of emphasis this year. The hands to the face call. Any contact to the face below the eyes is an automatic point. That is a point of emphasis from the NCAA. You're going to see a lot of that this year. So La Mantilla awarded a point for hands to the face call.
And then Lane goes right in for the shot. He tries to hip over. Nice scramble, and it's 2.
And that's huge coming at the end of the period. Makes it 6-6 going into the third. It looks like Lane is going to choose bottom.
I have to admit, these guys were going at it. It seemed a little long. I thought we were in the third period. But we're just starting the third period.
Just starting in the third.
So the new emphasis, and that the one-point escape, too. Putting Lane up 7-6. That point of emphasis, what are they calling that? The Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah, I believe so,
Don't touch anywhere in here. Don't go there.
Great.
Goes in for the double, comes up with the ankle. We'll see if he can exercise that patience again. Both wrestlers demonstrating great balance.
Switches off to a double. Injury time taken after the takedown for Lamantia. That could be a big turn of events here because now Lamantia is going to have choice if the Lehigh wrestler is able to continue.
Lane's been putting his knee in a difficult position, and I've found the referees will let it go a little bit when the wrestler puts themselves in that position as opposed to when they're pounded into it. But unfortunately, Lane has twisted his knee. We'll see what the extent of the injury is and if he's able to continue. Either way, it looks like the score was before the injury whistle.
And Lane is up on his feet, walking around. Looks like he's going to be able to continue this match.
And it's so difficult when you see a wrestler get hurt. Yes, there he is exposing his knee, and you can tell he's one of those guys with flexible knees who likes to do that, but that time he put himself in a little bit too tough a position.
So here we go, coming back to the match. You see Lamantia, even though he got the takedown, is choosing to go bottom after the injury time taken by Lane.
And it pays off for him as he gets the escape.
To put him up 9-7 with a minute left in the match.
But with insignificant riding time on the board, a takedown here would be big.
It's important to note that Lamantia does have a stall call, so he can't play the backup game. He doesn't have one to give.
That's right, and he steps forward, gets that nice underhook, trying for the ankle pick. Lane's seen that one a couple times now, and he got out of it. 30 seconds left. We're going to see a flurry. Lane looks like the injury is not impacting his mobility, but he also looks like he's in a little pain. That could be fatigue or the knee. Lamantia, good hand position, shoots, keeps his hips in good position. It looks like he's going to pick up a victory, 9-7.
Good win for the 149-pounder up at 157. It's a good way to get him back on track this season. And it puts the Wolverines up 9-6 heading into 165.
Yes.
Our other marquee matchup of the night, I would say, you have number 5, Logan Massa, taking on number 13, Cole Walter of Lehigh.
I've been looking forward to this match. Massa won 18-2 last season, and although Michigan's looking for payback from last year, Cole could be the only Lehigh wrestler looking for payback. He's not the type of guy to take an 18-2 loss sitting down, and he's going to try and get in there and win. National qualifier, he's won a match at National, and he wants to show he belongs. He's still got goals to get on the podium.
Great ankle pick by Logan Massa. Solid defense by Wolf here. Able to pull his foot over the body.
Very slick ankle pick.
But no takedown. Great scramble out by Wolf here off the solid attack by Massa. Real good high-level wrestling.
Now Cole's showing, I'm not taking down till the ref signals too. That was great defense. Looked like he was a goner, and here he is on his feet, 0-0.
Massa very good from this front headlock position. This is going to get pretty tight as he puts his head in the hole and chases the corner here. Catches the hip. This is going to be trouble.
Yep, the head in the hole getting ever
But
tighter.
Walter does a great job defending it. That was beautiful defense from the head in the hole. Not many people can defend that from Logan Massa. That is really good defense by Cole Walter.
Great defense. Logan uses those heavy hands, very physical, And it reminds me of a Lehigh wrestler, actually, that looked like the Incredible Hulk at this weight, Troy Letters. They're not lookalikes, but the same tough, unrelenting work on the head, the physical style of Logan Massa. And it can pay off, if not immediately, later in the match. And he's got that front head again.
Back in his position. Walter doing a good job, though, staying solid. Not as much offense coming from him, but just like we said in the 141-pound match, his hand, beautiful pick off the whistle. But Walter again defending.
Yes, goes into those splits, wards off the two temporarily. Now Massa has the two. Logan's another one of those Michigan wrestling families. His older brother Taylor wrestled several seasons for the Wolverine.
Little flurry as we go out of bounds. Massa tried to suck back. Walter rolls through to his belly, and we head back to the center. Lehigh is on bottom, Michigan on top.
Tight waist.
30 seconds remaining period.
Walter got up to his feet and he gets the 1 point.
Great wrestling there. Walter kept wrestling on top even after a hard Massa return. This is high-level wrestling at its finest.
I'm really impressed with the nimbleness of both wrestlers on their feet and on the mat.
Massa's heavy hands. Back to another ankle pick.
Comes on the bottom, looking for a cradle, gives up on that and gets the two. And he's got a 2-on-1 with Walter's got his head on the mat.
Nice inside wrist right here by Massa to end the period on top. It's always important when you can get a takedown with short time left and finish the period on top. And it looks like we got a little bit of blood from Massa. He's going over to get cleaned up.
Both wrestlers could enjoy this brief interlude because that was 3 intense minutes, mostly on their feet.
A lot of flurries there. It was really nice. They were wrestling really hard.
You know, I can't quite see how Logan got that cut, but fortunately the refs saw it, and the trainers were able to tend to it very quickly and were able to start again. Massa's up on his feet, working hand control. Gets those hips out for another point, a 5-1 lead. Walter just cuts into that riding time a little bit. Logan with a 30-second riding time now.
Nice inside reach by Walter here. He tries to double off. Massa locks in the crotch. This is going to be a tight scramble here.
He's fending off that ankle attack. Massa is very nicely.
Massa gets his hips back. Now he's in a solid defensive position. Has Walter sprawled out on his belly.
Good core strength used to flatten him out. Now he's going behind.
Walter's doing a good job of hanging onto that leg for dear life, trying not to give up a takedown here. Massa has him all sorts of flattened out, but Walter hangs on and doesn't give up a takedown.
I'm more curious about Massa than almost any wrestler in the country this season. As a freshman, he came in dynamite, took third in nationals, and was looking to go about the same or higher last season till he suffered that injury at the Las Vegas Cliff Keen Invitational. And since that time, not quite the same results, although he's off to a good start this season with the win against Central, and now he's in the lead against a tough opponent.
Right, I think the whole country is curious which Logan Massa we're going to see. Are we going to see the Logan Massa of his sophomore year or the dominant Logan Massa we saw his freshman year? This is a fun one to watch.
And with Imar moving on, there's a little more room at the top this year.
Looks like Walter's going to choose bottom to start the third period.
And he's done a good job getting up to his feet, but
Massa getting a good inside arm bar here. Those are so tough to get out of.
And he keeps such good hip position and body position, keeping the weight on his opponent, even when he doesn't have a great pinning combination locked up. Just fatiguing his opponent. But he gets up and he's got one. 5-2. And gets up just in the nick of time, 59 seconds riding to Logan Massa.
Massa gets hit with the hands to the face call. And you see he barely grazed the face, but that is a point of emphasis this year. If the hand comes in contact anywhere between the eyes and nose, that is always going to be a point. So it doesn't even have to be an aggressive hands to the face. If it makes contact between the eyes and the nose while you're in the neutral position, that is going to be a point.
Massa, it's been his match for the most part, but still we find ourselves in a situation where Walters kept himself in a position. Riding time, only 59 seconds. If he gets his takedown, they're going sudden victory. Massa just keeping himself in a great athletic position, great stance. He's not going to wade into any type of easy takedown by Walter.
Walter's taking a lot of attacks here, but can't seem to find Massa's legs here as he gets caught in the front headlock with 10 seconds left.
Massa sprawling, putting weight on his opponent, Walter.
We go to a stalemate with 2 seconds left. Massa leads 5-3.
So time for a quick shot.
A little late clock start there, but Massa hangs on to win 5-3 to put the Wolverines up 12-6 heading into our intermission.
A very nice win for Massa, but on the other hand, Walter's got to feel good. Coach Santoro's got to feel good. This was an 18-2. They should feel like they closed the gap, made some progress since last season.
Yes, they got to feel all right going into the intermission, knowing that they made some progress and it's only November. Massa, though, keeps upping his winning ways of this year and has a great start.
Walter is going for a takedown desperately at the end of the match, but just can't hit anything. Massa has too good a position, not going to give up an easy two-pointer to end that. Hard-earned victory. Now we're looking for some fun. We've got the Chrysler Preisleys, the club wrestlers from University of Michigan in their singlets and wigs for Wrestle and Roll, and some other halftime festivities. We'll join you for the second half of this match with the score right now. Michigan Wolverines ahead 12-6 on the Lehigh Redhawks. Michigan's on top of Lehigh 12-6 after 5 matches. Now, interesting, as we watch some of the highlights here, it's interesting that Michigan really didn't lose a match, but they're still in a dogfight with that 6-point injury default. What were the things that caught your eye in our first 5 matches, Kevin?
I think it was huge for Michigan to pick up the win in the marquee matchup of the first half, number 5 versus 13 and Massa versus Wolf. I think we've seen a lot of really good battles here in the first half. A lot of great wrestling. some high-level hand fighting, high-level defense, high-level attack, just like we expected with the top teams of Michigan and Lehigh.
Now, Coach Santoro hasn't had his guys getting his hands raised, but is there anything he can point to in the first half to say, this is something we can build on?
I think holding Stevan Micic and Logan Massa to decisions in the first half is huge. We have Massa who tech-falled Walter in the first half, or last season, and to be a 5-3 match, that's something to look forward to moving on this year.
And now we're at our featured match of the night. We've got Miles Amin, two-time All-American, versus Jordan Cutler, also an All-American. These two met twice last season, with Cutler winning the first match in the dual meet in Bethlehem, and then Miles returning the favor in the national quarterfinals. Yet both found their way onto the podium.
Some wrestling outlets have been calling this the rubber match between the two, but with this high level of wrestling, I hope that this isn't the last one that we get to see between Jordan Cutler and Miles Amin.
I agree. We could see these folks national semifinals, national quarterfinals again.
Beautiful high crotch by Amin. They're getting into a scramble here.
Now, Amin, he couldn't get that leg in between, but he still got the ankle.
Amin doubles off with Cutler on his butt, which is 2 points. Takedown here.
And Lehigh's going to challenge this.
That red brick came in fast when
Yes.
the ref awarded that takedown.
Now, I don't have a striped shirt on, but where from where I'm sitting, his butt was on the mat, and it was a 2 according to rules, but we will see.
So with Amin switching off to this double here, this is called what wrestlers call the Jordan Oliver rule. Anytime you have both legs secured and the other wrestler is on their butt, that is a takedown. Wrestlers who remember the NCAA finals between Jordan Oliver and Logan Stieber, Oliver had 2 legs and Stieber was on his butt, but it was not awarded to. The very next year, the rule change came in that if you had both legs secured and your opponent was on their butt, it was called a takedown. So here we'll see if the challenge works out for Lehigh or if the call stands with 2 legs and a wrestler on his butt. From my angle, it looked like 2, but like you said, Tom, we're not the ones wearing the striped shirts.
That's right. I remember that match, too, and it was close even under the old rules. And Jordan Oliver had such a dominating season. He was one of the wrestlers I really expected to take home a gold medal at NCAAs, but it didn't happen, and a freshman beat him. Little did we know that freshman would win 4 NCAA titles and a world title. Now the refs come over to explain the call to the Lehigh bench. I think they're going to keep it as a 2.
You hear the Michigan crowd start to cheer, so I think it's safe to say the call stands as a 2-point takedown.
Yes, and even with the rescheduling, we've still got those Chrysler crazies in singlet, in wig, cheering on the Michigan team today. When you were a wrestler here, what was it like to have those proud wrestlers in uniform supporting your team?
Oh, it was awesome to have this place rocking like it was, and I think seeing some of those club wrestlers in singlets may have had the other teams a little rattled when they were in here last year.
Now we're going to see what
Looked like
Miles
we had a
Amin
clock
does.
issue on the restart.
Viral ride. This is the kind of match where you fight for every inch.
Every inch. Cutler tripods up. Quick attack after the... Oh, escape was not awarded, so he just tried to come back in on a reversal. Nice knee pull single by Cutler. Amin immediately goes shin whizzer.
Yes. He's got that knee in a difficult position, but with that shin whizzer, he's putting himself in it. Oh,
Amin tries to spin all the way around. We're getting funky here on the Michigan mat.
almost an ankle lace by Cutler. More of a freestyle move.
Amin's working really hard to free his foot from Cutler's grip. Cutler's looking to hold on here for a stalemate, which does end up happening. No points scored on a great leg attack by Cutler. Awesome scramble defense by Miles Amin.
Tough position. I really appreciate Cutler getting in on that single. So many times you see wrestlers get free, say, hey, let's chill for about 5 seconds. But he came right back, much to the surprise of Amin, in on a nice, tight shot. Amin's lucky he didn't give up too. But he's very slick, great position, great scrambler.
That's very high-level wrestling from Cutler. Always looking to score after you score. And it did look like he caught Amin a little bit off guard, but the defense was stellar, and we're just seeing high-level wrestling right here.
At moments, I just want to shut up
and
just watch it.
Watch the beauty that's going on. And the period ends 2-1 here for Amin as Cutler chooses bottom to start the second period.
From where we're sitting, we can hear the Miles Amin rooting section, too.
Cutler with a quick escape to start the second period. We didn't see the attack right away like we did after the escape in the first period.
And beautiful shot by Amin, trying to get out the back door. Cutler's got both feet, keeping balance basically on his head.
Cutler with a great scramble ends up in on a single of his own. Amin in the front headlock now looking to score.
Those heavy hips, he got out, tried to put the head in the hole and get behind.
Great scramble in here. That's a lot of action, putting on a show for these fans here. Another sweep single attempt for Amin. Cutler with quick hips gets his leg free.
Both of these wrestlers with great, heavy hip. You're going to have to get in deep to finish a shot.
Pace starts to slow a little bit for these two at least. The pace has been so high in this match. These two are starting to catch their breath. Little hand fight. I'm sure we'll see a flurry to end this period.
Still keeping good position, though. Cutler had his hand on the forehead, almost in the Bermuda Triangle. Not quite. Posting, going for that wrist.
Nice. Wrestlers are a little relaxed here to end the period. Maybe catching their breath. Amin chooses bottom to start the third.
Looking forward to this last period. 2-2. Riding time at 29 seconds. Not a factor yet. We'll see what Cutler can do on time. On top, Amin quickly to his feet, working on hands, gets his hips out as he's up 3-2.
That's important. That was a quick escape for Amin. That was very, very important for this match. And as fans, we'd love to see them scramble some more on their feet, right, Tom?
Yes.
Great single leg attempt.
Deep on the ankle. Amin's out. Returns a shot. Not deep enough. Front head by Cutler. Amin struggling. He's got just his fingertips around Cutler. And he gets out of that position. I mean, keeping that sort of downward gaze, letting you know he's still interested in those legs.
And a stall call against Amin here for going out of bounds backwards. That was a point of emphasis the last couple years in wrestling, and there's always going to be a call when you go out of bounds. Either it's action or stall call on one of the wrestlers, and Amin got hit. Sprawls his legs back, goes behind, and finishes a takedown to go up 5-2. over Jordan Cutler.
Beautiful counter. Beautiful counter. He's in a great spot. They're near the edge of the match. They stumble out. 29 seconds left. Miles Amin will up by 3.
A tough ride by Amin here. Cutler keeps coming up to his feet. Amin working hard to return him. Drops in on the single leg.
He's in a great position with 10 seconds left.
And he gets hit for stalling to give up a point here. You hear boos from the Michigan faithful, but according to the rule book, that's the right call. You have 5 seconds to let go of the leg when you drop down on top.
And a caution. A caution on Amin. Now Cutler went for a switch right off the bat the last time he was down. Now he goes to his feet, working on the hands. He gets out with 2 seconds left, and this one goes to Amin.
And Amin will tack on one more point for riding time to win 6-4.
He just snuck that last second in, didn't he?
Just snuck it.
6-4 for Michigan. As far as these guys go, that's a blowout.
That's a big win for the Wolverines in our marquee matchup of the night. Number 3 over number 7.
You can see Cutler desperately trying to get up, get out, take down. Not enough time for him tonight. Miles Amin wins the second of 3 matches. I hope we see those guys later on at the Nationals.
And here we are at 184. We have redshirt freshman Jelani Embry from Michigan against Andrew Price of Lehigh. And Embry in early on the leg.
Great shot. Let's see if he can finish.
And he gets a takedown on the edge.
Embry out of Warren Lincoln High School in Michigan. The alma mater for the first round of Amins.
We see head coach Sean Bormet approaching task the official about the stall call, and it was corrected. The official put up a stall call on green there, but he meant to warn the Lehigh wrestler for trying to run out of bounds.
Sean Bormet is in his first home match for the Wolverines as head coach. Although he's been here for many years, he was the associate head coach for 7 years. Kevin, what's your feeling about him going from first mate to captain of this ship?
It's really nice. I'm still in the room as an RTC, guys. We see a great inside trip by Jelani Embry. Man, that kid is explosive. But Sean Bormet is a great head coach. There isn't a better man for the job for Michigan. He's a Michigan man through and through. He wrestled here in his college days. He went away for a little bit, but then he came back as an assistant, and he's doing the right things as our head coach.
I think the Michigan fans agree with you for the most part. And if they get a win tonight, they'll feel even a little better. That inside trip by Embry, too. Shades of Vincenzo Joseph, and it takes a lot of core strength to do that on a solid opponent. Embry been riding well so far, great on his feet. Three and 1. And all 3 of his wins have been by bonus point this year.
So here we have redshirt junior Andrew Price filling in for the number 7 ranked Ryan Priest of Lehigh. Like we said earlier, Lehigh has a couple of their starters out, and we're not sure why. Long season, like Tom said earlier. So we have Price filling in for the number 7 ranked Ryan Preach. A little bit of a homecoming for Andrew Price, coming from Rochester, Michigan. So maybe that's why he gets the nod tonight and a homecoming to Michigan.
What a great opportunity for him. And yes, we missed Connor Schramm as well, or it looks like we will. He was not in the lineups today at 125. The former All-American for Stanford is, I believe, a graduate transfer to Lehigh. So they've got a lot of weapons. The fans won't be able to see tonight, but Pat Santoro's got to feel good about their chances. Coming back, trying to repeat as EIWA champs, and get working for that national championship. I think a lot of wrestling fans would say these two programs are the best that have never won an NCAA title. They've both been second, Michigan several times, but the fans have never gotten to see their team at the top of the podium. Many, many All-Americans and national champions, both these schools, though. So Andrew Price giving a peek at the clock, sees there's 5 seconds, and I don't think we'll get much activity.
Period ends 4-2 with an Embry lead. It's his choice, and he goes bottom right away.
Well, we'll get a chance to see his bottom wrestling, see if he demonstrates that same explosiveness that got him out to a 4-2 lead.
To his feet quickly, gets hand control, and cuts out in 3 seconds. Very nice bottom work from Embry.
Price trying to work an underhook. Got that position just above the elbow joint, almost like just trying to defend himself from an Embry attack.
Embry looking foot sweep, but Price is able to get his foot free. Embry showing a little bit of trickery today for all the fans. A nice little inside trip, and he was looking for a foot sweep there.
With a 5-2 lead, maybe he could jump off the gas pedal a little bit, but he's still got that downward gaze, looking for more point.
And that could be something that that Coach Sean Brumett preaches to his Michigan wrestlers. I know that they have a hammer in their room that is handed out every week to the wrestler who scores the most points in the dual meet. So I know these guys like to have a little bit of friendly competition for that hammer. So maybe Embry is looking to steal that hammer away from one of the guys who scored more points earlier. But that's yet to be seen.
So, Coach Brumett seems like a really nice guy. He's never coached me, but he looks tough. He looks like if you hit him in the head with a hammer, you might break the hammer. And a great wrestler for the Wolverines, 2-time All-American, including a finalist. And unfortunately, I don't have notes on this, but if memory serves, I think he lost to Pat Smith, who was the first 4-time NCAA champion. Short time here. Both wrestlers leaning on each other, working for inside position. And it looks like it's going to end 6-2 for Jelani Embry. A nice victory. It's always fun to see.
Starting the third
like
period,
this.
actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. They look so tired. I thought it was the third. But I will say this. It's great to see, in a match like this, when 2 unranked wrestlers get together and what can be done. And they're really fighting.
Especially in a dual meet that means so much. And it's still up for grabs for either team. Even though Michigan has a 15-6 lead, Lehigh can still come back here. So an unranked matchup is huge if a team can steal that win.
Absolutely. And likewise, if Embry wins, his 3 points will count as much as Miles Amin did for the Wolverines. tough hand fighting, ear to ear, by two strong-looking guys, I got to tell you.
Yeah, the offensive slowed down a little bit. We saw an explosive first period from Embry, but it looks like Price has been able to slow down that explosiveness, and we haven't seen many attacks that have come to scores since then. So
Price really going for those underhook. Embry is not interested in that. It looks like he wants to shoot legs.
Embry does hold a 1:09 riding time. So if he can hold on to that for the end of the match, we'll be able to tack on another point to his score. So if Price is looking to get back in this match, he's going to need to take down and ride for a little bit to force overtime.
Price really get heavier on that head, working for that inside position.
Lots of pushing and moving out here, lots of hand fighting, not many attack.
Now, Embry's creating a little distance now. Oh, and this
Easy go behind there off of the great defense of the shot from Andrew Price.
7-3 and a stall.
Quick stall call there on Embry as we go out of bounds in the top position. 7-3 with 14 seconds left. Embry's riding time is now locked up when he has 1:17. Slick return there for Embry.
Nice. Keeping one weight on his opponent, Price.
And he's going to ride out for the 8-3 win over Price in his first home duel in a Michigan Wolverine singlet.
And the Wolverine faithful here tonight, they're hoping they see a lot of that over the next 4 seasons.
This brings us to 197, which I think we have.
Great finish by Jelani Embry. Very tough ride. Nice go behind on his takedown to finish up the match. Price, the Michigan native, is unable to pull it out in front of the home crowd. Pat Santoro, you know, I remember as a little kid watching him wrestle Townsend Sanders in the NCAA finals. Townsend Sanders is about the strongest looking 142-pounder I ever saw. And Pat Santoro, just a great technician, 4-time All-American. And he brings those technical skills to Lehigh. And Lehigh is no slouch. The cupboard is quite full there, and they get some good recruits. But it's not Penn State, and he takes half of the ingredients, maybe that an Iowa or Penn State gets, but he keeps bringing All-Americans, some podium finishes, and even last year, Lehigh broke the 11-year stranglehold that Cornell had on the EIAWA and won their first title since 2006. Just a great coach. You couldn't say more about him. Now we're at 197, a weight my partner Kevin Beasley knows very well. Wrestling at 197 pounds for the University of Michigan and Old Dominion. I'm sure he had a lot of battles with this guy, Jackson Strigo, in the Bana Wrestling Center. And we're looking at a great match tonight.
Yeah, Jackson and I still have our battles. This is a rematch from last year's duel where Jacobson was able to win 2-0 on an escape and a ride out. So the keys for Strigo are going to be to get to his offense on his feet, and Jacobson is going to look to scramble out of positions on his feet and try to win this match on the mat.
Lehigh at 197, they remind me a little bit of U of M last year. They've got two tough guys, Chris Weiler, Jake Jacobson. There's got to be some great practices there. And just like you and Strigo had last year.
Yeah, Jacobson and Weiler split time last year, and Weiler ended up getting the nod to wrestle at the EIWA tournament and made a heck of a run at the NCAA tournament. Found himself upsetting the number 10 seed in the first round, the number 7 seed in the second round, and made the quarterfinals. Had number 2 seed, all sorts of trouble, ended up falling in that match and losing in the round of 12 as well. Weiler, who we don't see here tonight, had a great NCAA tournament. But tonight we see a rematch of Jacobson and Striegau, which was a heck of a match last year in Bethlehem.
So this Michigan team wants payback, and Striegau wants a payback too after that tough loss.
Yeah, this would be good to add to Striegau's resume for the year, to get a win here for his team and for himself.
And to my naked eye, he was always a strong kid, but he looks a little leaner and stronger this year than in years past. That's often a sign that he really wants to make a push this year, get on the podium for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I'm sure both of these guys are very hungry. Quite the different body types here. You got Striegau, who's more stacked as a 197-pounder, and Jacobson, who is long and lean. Causes for a fun matchup here. Strength versus length.
Yes, and they're just going toe-to-toe, ear-to-ear, head-to-head. Not a lot of movement, but a lot of effort so far.
So this is, once you get to the bigger weights, this is more typical of their matches. You see a lot of heavy hand fight and battles up top to get to the legs. Striegau with a nice stab down here. Jacobson sucking in that elbow, looking to circle out.
And this really is the big question mark for Michigan. With you, Abinator, and Kuhn all moving on to your Greco-Roman careers, we've got new guys in the lineup. Striegau was there before for a season and did pretty well. And we've got a new heavyweights, new 184-pounders. That'll be really the question mark that needs to be answered for the Wolverines as they go through this season and work their way to the Big Ten and national championship.
And the period ends 0-0, quite similar to their match in Lehigh, as Jacobson defers choice to Striegau. Striegau immediately goes down. He's not fearful of what happened last year in the ride out. He's going to work to get away on bottom. This is a key for Jacobson here, if he can keep Striegau down like he did last year in the dual meet.
Got keeping some weight on Striegau by Weiler.
Jacobson looks cradle. Striegau looks to explode. Jacobson slides the boot in. This is where Jacobson is very tough.
Tough position, and he is a little lanky with long legs.
As he gets both boots in, flattens Striegau out to his stomach as he works power half. Striegau's going to need to build his base and find a way to get one of those legs out, if not both.
It's tough position to be in, and you've kind of got to work out of it inch by inch.
And Jacobson's just going to look to be patient here and try to find a turn on top if he can. It's really on Striegau to have to work to get one of those legs out and build his base.
And he gets a leg out. He gets a leg out. Trying to work up.
Jacobson doing a great job here of using his length, being able to flatten Striegau out. He's going to need to build his knees up here. Build his knees up without allowing that leg to slide back in.
He's trying to get both boots in again.
Looking sucked back with the side headlock.
Striegau's in tough position, just trying to keep his abdomen and chest down on the mat.
It's a very tough position when you have someone as long as Jacobson riding legs on you. It's very, very tough. Striegau's got 20 seconds to build his base and get out.
Maybe get those elbows in and work up. It looks like we're going to have a solid 2-minute ride.
Jacobson rides out the second period as we head into the third.
So no points on the board, but a great ride by Jacobson.
Jacobson going to choose bottom here to start the third period. Strigal going optional start. Looks like he's just going to try to win the match on his feet.
And he was tough on his feet in the first period.
Yep,
Even
he's going to need to
no
pick up the
takedown.
pace here, get a couple more attacks off if he wants to win this match. It's going to take at least one takedown and a ride out to force overtime. Nice sweep single by Jacobson, and he secures a takedown.
Great. Strigo's got to be thinking, I don't need another 2 minutes of this. I've got to get up. I got to get out of here.
He's got to find a way to get to his feet here. Jacobson doing a good job of keeping the pressure
high.
forward. Finds a way to get that boot in and sink double legs now. Strigal's got to find a way to at least get one boot out here on bottom to keep some of that pressure off. That's a lot of pressure with both legs in. Jacobson does a good job of keeping his hips in to keep the pressure there. As we get a stalemate from the official, we're going to get a restart with 59 seconds left in the third period. Strigal trails Jacobson 3-0, with Jacobson has riding time locked up with 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
And this is a good shot for Strigo. It's very difficult to get out of that position. Now he's got a fresh start. He's got to move off the whistle. Gets to his feet.
Jacobson slides that leg in. He's using his length very well. Strigal fighting. He's
trying to come out the back door. I didn't see the call.
They're going to review it, it looks like. The ref thought that Jacobson figure forward the body with his legs in, which is an illegal hold, which will be 1 point for Strigal. So they're going to be looking at this right here to see if Jacobson does go to a figure four across the body, which would give Strigal a point here.
A big point, too. Give him a little more hope for an escape, a takedown, a ride out, and go into sudden victory. With 43 seconds left, if this call holds up, things are looking a lot better than they were a couple seconds ago.
And it's a nice restart for Strigal. Like you said, it's very difficult once a guy gets both legs in to get away. Takes a lot more time. This restart will help Strigal.
Yes, and give him a chance to catch his breath for a half minute, too. So he was expending a lot of energy on the bottom there. Strigo desperately trying to get to his feet. He's trying to get that ankle out. Little high, but able to maintain control so far.
Jacobson's able to stay on top and slide that second boot in. He's looking side headlock tilt. Strigal goes back to his belly.
With 20 seconds left, Strigo needs to make a last push.
And it looks like we're going to end with a ride out and a 4-1 victory for Jacobson over Jackson Strigal, which brings the dual meet score to 18-9 heading into heavyweight with 2 matches left.
Tough match, and they say anybody can wrestle. That was a contrast in styles and a contrast in body styles. And Strigo will have to try and figure that out. Now we've got Luke Reddy taking on Jordan Wood. Luke Reddy enters the lineup this year after sitting behind Adam Kuhn as a red shirt. Got some tough duty tonight against number 6 Jordan Wood, who made it to the round of 12 last year, and gave Kuhn a fairly competitive match. I think it finished up 6-2 in the duel last year, and he's in on a shot.
Wood with a quick misdirection single. Great defense by Luke Reddy, though, to get his foot back to the mat. I love some heavyweight hand fighting. These hands are going to be heavy. We're going to see a battle.
Absolutely. And these guys have got great mentors in the room. Zach Ray, the former national champion from Lehigh, experienced some international success. And Adam Kuhn, the three-time All-American, also world silver medalist this year in Greco. I got to think having these guys lean on you every day, it's going to make you tougher and stronger.
Yes, sir. There probably aren't too many rooms to have heavyweight workout partners like these two heavyweights get to go with every day.
I did see the weigh-in sheets. I don't know the exact weights of these guys. Reddy looks like he's giving up a few pounds here.
Yes, these two look more athletic than a lot of the heavyweights we see in the Big Ten. You're going to see a little more quickness from these two, and but they don't look too small for the heavyweight weight classes. We see Luke Reddy drag out of a front headlock position. Wood elevates an underhook. He's pushing Reddy around the mat right now as he looks duck under.
Sorry, that was a tight front headlock, too. That was very nice work by Reddy.
As we take a quick break for Reddy to fix his headgear. That was really good defense by Reddy there to get out of that tight front headlock.
A good technician doesn't necessarily look like a heavyweight to the eyes, but a good technician. We'll see what he's able to do here in his home meet debut for the Wolverine. Very heavy hands by these guys. Wood's left knee is pretty heavily taped. I'm trying to see if he competed at their last meet. He did. He competed at the Journeyman Classic and took first place, 3-0 in the A heavyweight category.
It doesn't look like that knee has affected him too much. Those level changes are coming pretty often and pretty quickly. May just be a precautionary tape job that he has. Nice high crotch turn single leg by Wood. He's trying to dump. He kicks to finish the single leg takedown.
And we've got our first score with about 23 seconds left in the first. Reddy's just trying to get to an athletic position, get his head up off the mat, get his arms in.
That's a lot of weight on top of you when you're down there on your belly, Tom.
I know the feeling.
We end the period 2-0. I can't emphasize this enough. When you can end the period with a takedown and ride out, that's huge. A 2-0 lead going into the second period for Wood.
So we can see Wood not giving up. Short time left in the period. Manages to get the big 2 point, which the way these guys are going could weigh very heavy in the outcome of this match. Reddy's got a big man on him. He really needs to do something explosive, try and get out. He reaches his feet and he gets that escape.
That's going to be a huge escape for Reddy there. Wood was approaching a minute of riding time. He has 44 seconds, so it was good for Reddy to hustle and get out there. High crotch attempt. Reddy gets his legs back to some heavyweight hand fighting.
Reddy is on that left wrist. Collar tie. Doing whatever he can to put a little more weight on his opponent. And Wood using his muscle. Collar tie, underhook, shades of Weimar here, although he lost the collar tie.
Wood looking to push a lot with that underhook, kind of driving Reddy around the mat. Reddy clears the hook, and now they're back to a position. Wood in nice on an ankle pick that he turns into a single leg, looking to finish. Reddy kicks out.
Oh. Almost was able to turn around, face his opponent, then almost got cradled.
Wood did a good job of following his single leg all the way through. Now he has that big man on top of him again. He needs to base up here and get off of his belly.
Boys and girls, you'll see he was staying off his knees as he brought that wrist in too, keeping some weight on Reddy.
Wood ends the second period on top, just like he ended the first period. A late takedown that he finishes with a ride out. And now he's up to over a minute of riding time at a minute 12 as Wood chooses bottom to start the third period.
Late scoring, a sign of patience by the man who's been to the round of 12 in the NCAAs. Reddy trying to give himself a break here for a minute riding, but he's in a little bit of trouble. And he gives up the reversal. Now Wood's going to try the takedown game.
Wood cuts Reddy to make the score 6-2 with a minute 25 left in the third period. With that reversal, Wood was able to hold on to riding time at a minute 3. And we see another hands to the face call. That's 3 times this dual meet. That is.
The fans starting to get into it a little bit here late in the match. And Wood gets a takedown. Reddy needs to sort of regain his composure here. And not get sucked in again like he did just then.
Wood is really starting to pour it on him in the third period. You can see that offense starting to really open up as he adds another takedown to make the score 13-4. He's cutting him again. Looks cradle off of the cut. Can't get to it.
And the Lehigh Bain Trust is at the side of the mat shouting instructions to their wrestler.
Reddy getting warned on bottom for not coming off of his belly here. Wood is still looking to work a pinning combination, it looks like, from out front as he cuts Reddy for one more escape with 15 seconds left to go. A nice duck under from the big man from Lehigh. He gets behind Reddy, looks to return, and gets the takedown.
Essentially 16-5 with a minute riding time in hand. It's going to be a major decision for Jordan Wood.
What started out as a low-scoring match blew open in the third period. The number 6 ranked wrestler, Jordan Wood from Lehigh, was able to really pour it on Luke Reddy from Michigan in the third period.
Great performance by Wood, patience in the first 2 periods. Then, when he sensed his moment, he was able to pile it on. For Reddy, I think you can say, hey, that's a quality heavyweight. And I wrestled all right for about 250, then about another 150. So
that was
more consistency, and he'll be able to compete with the elite heavyweight.
That was very big for Lehigh as it brings the dual meet score within reach as we head into our last match of the evening at 125 pounds. Michigan leads Lehigh 18-13. So a fall for Lehigh would give them the dual meet victory, so that major decision was huge from Jordan Wood.
It's always great when you have a chance going into the 10th match. And Farrell's a redshirt sophomore and did a nice job at the Journeyman. First place, going 3-0. Lehigh's only competition so far. The Wolverines did the MSU Open and then were able to compete in a dual meet against Central. Drew Madden opened some eyes big time out in Las Vegas last year with his win against Minnesota's All-American Ethan Lezak.
A nice shuck from Farrow to get the takedown on Drew Madden.
Mixed results for Drew this year. He's 2-2.
Madden is ranked 17th in the country, going against Nick Farrow, who is unranked, and that may be due to the fact that his teammate, returning All-American is ranked a little higher and can't rank two guys from one team.
Yes, Connor Schramm, the former All-American, is ranked number 11. Farrell, when he's in that Lehigh room, he's got competition. Lehigh just graduated, a three-time All-American at this weight and former NCAA champion. And just when the coast looks a little bit clear, they bring in another All-American. But Farrell's going to get tougher, as they say, steel sharpens steel. And he's doing a nice job against the returning NCAA qualifier, Drew Matt, today. Matt gets out for a 2-1 escape.
Farrell put on a tough ride there after the takedown and was able to rack up a 1:05 of riding time with about 45 seconds left to go in this first period.
Matt's a taller wrestler at 125. I don't know if he's having any issues with weight in the early season, but that could explain the 2-2 start for a guy who started out real tough last year. Definitely being a little more aggressive right now, trying to return a takedown on Farrell.
Both of these guys with some slick chuck attempts, a lot of attempts from upper body ties, not too many leg attacks here in the first period from our 125-pound weight class.
So Farrell gets choice into first.
We're going to take a little bit of blood time. Looks like Matten has a cut above his eye that is leaking a little bit.
Farrell looks like a little bit of a smaller 125-pounder.
That could be just because Drew Matten looks really, really big.
That could be. That could be.
That dude is a tall drink of water for 125. Not sure what caused this cut on Matten's face. Not sure if it was earlier or if it was there earlier, if it happened in this match. But he is bleeding and got a little bit of time to get the trainers to clean it up.
Yeah, wrestling a shorter wrestler, sometimes they come up into your head a little bit. Could have explained the injury to Matt, but he doesn't look any worse for the wear.
Matten quick up to his feet, but Farrell was able to return him back to the mat as we start our second period.
And they come over near our table.
The roll out of bounds. Matten's going to get set back on bottom.
Did a nice job getting to his feet, wasn't able to clear his hip. Now, a little bit of a sit out, gets stuck there for a second.
Tails off, gets to his feet. Farrell drops to an ankle and is able to return Matten.
Matten goes for the switch. Farrell follows nicely. Now he's up on his feet.
Lots of high-level chain wrestling here.
Good hand control, and he gets out for a 2-2 tie.
A lot of chain wrestling there. Was able to get Matten that escape. Farrell did everything he could to keep him down, but Matten just kept putting moves together to get away.
Farrell's done a nice bit of riding, stowing away a minute 41 in riding time. Matt went for the high crotch, didn't quite make it. Tough hand and wrist fighting, a lot of ear to ear. Matten getting in with the underhook on the left side. Farrell's fighting it real hard, gets out of that.
Lots of level changes from Matten from the open, trying to find a way to get in on those legs. Farrell takes a double from the open, but nothing's open.
Got 15 seconds left in this period. We'll see if anyone can get a takedown in short time. Goes for the shot.
Deep high
Farrell's
crotch.
deep.
Matten gets his legs back, starts to chase the corner. But we run out of time here in the second period. We'll go to the third. 2-2 score, but Farrell has a minute 41 riding time. and he's going to choose bottom.
Now, you spent a year in the room with Matt last season. His season, he had some great upsets, and near the end, maybe tuckered out a little bit. What was your opinion on the way he finished out last season?
He had a great true freshman season, going from high school wrestling to college wrestling, and being able to come in as a true freshman and wrestle the way he did is super impressive. Managing in his weight all year long and wrestling the high level Big Ten competition that he did. Drew did a great job, and I think he went 2-2 at the national tournament, scored some big points for Michigan to be able to trophy. So he's looking to have another year like he did last year and build upon that and find a way onto the podium at 125 pounds. He put a solid ride on right now. He erased riding time, and he's looking to get a turn here. Farrell working to free that inside bar. With a ride out, we'll force overtime and get some free wrestling here, Tom.
Oh, I got no objections to that. And that Michigan finish with the tie for fourth, every half point counted.
Warning on the bottom man here that could come into play with 50 seconds left in this match.
If my broadcast partner here hadn't have injured his elbow at the Big Tens, I think Michigan would have been up a click, beating NC State and the Hawkeyes. Great way to keep his weight on.
Matt with a solid ride. We like to call that a Blair ride. You get an inside bar, you put it on your thigh with her off to the side, makes the bottom man look like he's not working, and it's a really solid ride to keep you on top. You can hear the Michigan fans beg for a stall call, and they get it.
They get it.
Puts Drew Matten up 3-2 with 10 seconds left in this match.
Solid ride. Riding time's going the other way, and with the warning and stall point, 3-2. And I think Farrell's saying, hey, it's not stalling if you just can't move. I wasn't stalling, I just couldn't get up. Tough call for him.
Matt,
nice win for Matt.
Finishes the dual meet for Michigan to put him up 21-13 and win the duel.
So Sean Bormet, the first home meet as Michigan head coach, has a victory. You just see excellent riding by Matt. He takes a tie score, doesn't let his opponent up, says, I'm going to let my riding speak for me, rides him out the whole period, and gets a warning and stall point for the victory. Great job, showing a lot of patience, coming back from that 2-0 deficit and winning that match. So, Kevin, what did you make of that last match?
Drew Matten doing a great job riding out the third period. Picked up erased riding time and was able to get his opponent hit for stalling 2 times in the third period. And it secured the dual meet win for Michigan.
Okay, well, thank you, fans, for attending our match. We're glad to have you with us at Chrysler Arena, where